Hey there, friends. Buckle up for an incredible tale that'll tug at your heartstrings and keep you on the edge of your seat. This is a story about courage, betrayal, and the unbreakable bond between a man and his niece, set against a backdrop of high-stakes corporate espionage. It's moving, it's thrilling, and it's packed with moments that'll make you cheer. Let's dive in. Picture this: a sunny afternoon in a sleek, modern office. Carter Williams, a tech genius with a heart of gold, is typing away at his desk. The sunlight streams through tall windows, warming the polished walnut shelves and glinting off his computer screen. Everything feels calm, productive, perfect. But then, a soft voice breaks the silence. "You have a camera in your office?" whispers Maya, a 9-year-old girl, her small frame half hidden in the doorway. "But it's not yours." Carter freezes, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. The room seems to grow colder. He turns slowly, meeting Maya's wide, dark eyes. She's gripping the edge of his mahogany desk like it's her lifeline. "Maya," he says carefully, his voice steady but laced with unease. "What do you mean, a camera?" She steps closer, her sneakers silent on the thick rug, and leans in so close he can feel her warm breath. "It's behind the painting," she murmurs. "The one Miss Vanessa brought." Carter's heart skips. Vanessa, his fiancée, brought that painting, a tasteful city skyline, for weeks ago, calling it a gift to soften his workspace. He glances at it now, hanging innocently above his bookcase. Maya's words echo in his mind. "I saw it blink at night," she adds, her voice steady despite her small stature. "I scanned it with my tablet. The signal doesn't match your devices." "Scanned it?" Carter's stomach tightens. Maya nods, explaining she ran a network trace during a sleepless night. This quiet, observant girl, who's barely spoken since her parents, Carter's brother and sister-in-law, died in a tragic accident 6 months ago, has uncovered something his elite security team missed. "How long have you known?" he asks. "Since last week," she replies softly. "But I wasn't sure you'd believe me." Carter's throat tightens. He's given Maya everything. Top schools, a therapist, a cozy room filled with books and gadgets. But he hasn't earned her trust. Not like this. He stands, crosses the room, and lifts the painting from its hooks. There, tucked beneath the molding, is a tiny black lens, no bigger than a pencil eraser. A hidden camera. "Maya, go wait outside for a minute," he says, his voice low. "No," she replies firmly, not defiant but brave. She's not leaving. Carter nods, motioning her to sit. She perches on the leather chair, hands folded, her gaze far older than her years. "I checked the signal history," she says. "It started when Vanessa hung the painting. But now there are others, smaller ones in the living room, the den, and your bedroom." A chill crawls up Carter's spine. Vanessa, with her perfect timing, her lingering touches, her coffee runs that always seem too convenient. Has she been watching him? Listening? Betraying him? He stares at the camera, embedded in the painting's frame, so small it could pass for decoration. But it's not decoration. It's deliberate. "Maya," he says, voice steady, "I want you to keep watching, but only if you feel safe. Can you do that?" She nods, and for the first time since she came to live with him, she smiles. A real smile, not polite, but one that says someone's finally listening. Carter, now wide awake with fury, opens a secure terminal on his computer. Vanessa will be home soon, and this time he'll be the one watching. If Maya's quiet courage and Carter's rising determination have you hooked, stick around. This is just the beginning. Imagine discovering your own home is spying on you. What would you do? Let's keep going. The wind outside Carter's sprawling estate rustles the tall trees, but inside, the air is thick with tension. Vanessa will be home in 27 minutes. Carter knows her routine like clockwork. She leaves her boutique consulting firm at 5:35 p.m., grabs a decaf soy latte, and arrives at 6:12, give or take a minute. She'll smile, hang her coat on the antique hook she insisted on installing, and find him with a breezy, "I missed you," and a kiss that now feels like a performance. Carter stares at the painting, now on the floor, its frame cracked from where he yanked it down. The camera lens glares back, lifeless but damning. Maya sits on the couch, her tablet open, swiping through signals his system never flagged. "How many?" he asks. "5 that don't belong," she says. "2 in your office, 1 in the living room, 1 in the guest bedroom, and..." She hesitates. "1 in your master suite." Carter inhales sharply. This isn't amateur work, this is high-level surveillance, the kind his company, High-End, is built to prevent. He crosses to a tall oak cabinet, unlocks it with his fingerprint, and reveals a humming server tower. Plugging Maya's tablet into a diagnostic port, he says, "You're in." Her eyes widen. "You're giving me access?" "I trust you," he replies. "More than my own firewall, apparently." Maya nods and dives into the code, tracing signals through digital noise. Carter checks his security dashboard, finding motion logs that don't add up, movements in empty rooms, blank signatures. Whoever planted these devices wanted to spy without leaving a trace. A knock startles them. It's Josephine, Carter's longtime housekeeper, her silver bun tight, her eyes sharp. "Something's wrong," she says, not asking. "Yes," Carter replies, closing the door. "Vanessa may have planted surveillance devices. Maya found them." Josephine's face hardens. "I knew something was off. She's always lingering, always knows too much. And she talks to that CFO of yours, Miles, too often." She reveals Miles visited unannounced twice last week, whispering with Vanessa in the den when they thought no one was listening. Carter's pulse races. Miles, his best friend since MIT, involved? He thanks Josephine and asks her to act normal when Vanessa arrives. "I've been playing polite longer than she's been alive," Josephine says with a tight smile. "I can pretend just fine." Maya's voice cuts through. "I found something." She's mapped a signal hub routing all devices to a private storage firm in downtown Austin. "Whoever's behind this is good," she murmurs. "They use packet shadows, slivers of data, hard to trace." "And yet you traced it," Carter says, impressed. Before he can say more, the front door opens. Vanessa's laugh floats down the hall, warm, rehearsed. Carter locks the tablet in a drawer, and Josephine heads out, composed. "Carter, where are you, babe?" Vanessa calls. "In the office," he replies, stepping into the doorway as Maya slips to the side hall. Vanessa appears, arms full of takeout bags, a wine bottle peeking from her purse. "There's my genius," she says, kissing his cheek. She scans the room. Smells like server heat. "Working hard or hardly working?" "Just running diagnostics," he says tightly. "A few glitches." "Anything serious?" she asks, her playful curiosity a mask. "Not really," he replies. "I'll do a full reset later." "Need help?" she offers. "No," he says. "You've helped enough." She laughs, but he doesn't respond. She stretches, her hands sliding along the desk, right above the drawer hiding the tablet. "We should eat before it gets cold," she says, turning. "I'll be out in a bit," he replies. She blows a kiss and leaves, humming a tune that doesn't reach her eyes. Carter sits, hands pressed together, his temple throbbing. He doesn't want this to be true, but it is. Vanessa is betraying him, and she's not alone. Maya steps from the shadows. "Uncle Carter, can I help with the reset?" He nods. "You already are." The house grows quiet, the kind of stillness that follows a storm or precedes one. Carter sits in his darkened office long after Vanessa's lavender-scented bath. The wine she brought sits untouched, the food cold. Maya, wrapped in a blanket, analyzes packets by the server cabinet, her fingers flying over the keyboard. Josephine brings chamomile tea, her look saying, "Keep going." Carter studies the ceiling. He's built defenses tighter than a nuclear vault, yet Vanessa slipped through, not through his network, but his heart. "Got something?" Maya says, her voice charged. She's mapped Vanessa's cloud activity to an offshore server in the Caymans, syncing with Orionex, High-End's competitor. "This is yours," she says, showing stolen blueprints and algorithms. And this is where it ends up. Carter's jaw locks. Vanessa isn't freelancing. She's a corporate spy. Is Miles involved? He asks. Maya hesitates, then plays grainy footage from 3 nights ago. Vanessa and Miles, in the living room, exchange a USB drive. Their embrace not friendly but conspiratorial. I need air, Carter says, stepping onto the deck. The cold bites, the stars sharp. 6 months ago, he adopted Maya to give her safety, but she's the one protecting him. She follows, barefoot, blanket tight. I'm sorry, he says, crouching. You shouldn't have to carry this. I wanted to tell you sooner, she whispers, voice cracking. But I didn't want you to think I was trying to ruin things. She makes you happy. Carter's heart aches. She silenced herself for his comfort. No one should ask you to do that, he says, hugging her. Last of all me. What now? She asks. Now, he says, eyes steady. We flip the game. They return inside, colder but clearer. Carter pulls a secure phone and calls Reed, an ex-military private security expert. I need you, he says. Tonight. Quiet surveillance, no uniforms. Reed agrees. Carter crafts fake build logs and backdoor-laced software, with Maya inserting trigger codes to track access. Josephine brings cookies and cocoa, saying, You're preparing for war. We are, Carter replies. She hands Maya a cookie. Then you'll need sugar. By dawn, the decoy server is ready. Maya sleeps in the armchair, tablet on her chest. Carter looks at her, realizing this isn't just about trade secrets. It's about protecting the girl who protected him. He dims the lights, glances at Vanessa sleeping upstairs, and whispers, You have no idea who you messed with. Morning dawns gray. Vanessa pads into the kitchen in Carter's robe, humming, pouring coffee with almond milk she always keeps stocked. Her movements are too casual, her poses angled toward a hidden camera. Carter enters, unreadable. Morning, love, she says, smile shallow. Sleep okay? Eventually, he replies, opening the fridge. You seemed tense last night. Work okay? Just thinking through problems, he says. But I've got a solution now. Her smile sharpens. She leans for a kiss, but he turns, offering his cheek. She hesitates, then laughs. Grumpy morning man noted. I'm heading to the city, he says. Might be gone all day. Want company? She asks. Not today. Maya's staying in. She's got a project. Vanessa nods too quickly. Maybe we'll bake later. Carter smiles shortly and leaves, circling to the guest house where Reed's team has set up a command station. She's up, Reed says. Her phone pinged the offshore server at 6:12 a.m. She's testing your movements. What about Miles? Carter asks. Reed shows a one-way ticket to DC booked by Miles. No return. This is coming to a head, Reed says. It ends today, Carter replies. Back in the house, Vanessa paces, whispering into her phone. He's acting different, she says. More guarded. No, not yet. I need more time. He's building the neural mesh, and I need the framework. Maya, unnoticed, stands nearby. Uncle Carter says I should work in my room today, she says flatly. Vanessa crouches, smiling. Of course, sweetheart. You're so bright. Maya's eyes don't blink. Are you going to be here when he gets back? Of course, Vanessa says, standing straighter. Maya nods and leaves. In the command trailer, Carter watches, Reed shaking his head. That kid's got steel. She's been through worse, Carter says. And she's still looking out for me. By afternoon, Carter returns, pretending to forget his laptop. Vanessa greets him warmly, but he sidesteps her hug. In the living room, he accidentally leaves a dummy file, NMAI Neurosync prototype final, open on his laptop and steps away. Vanessa, on the couch, springs up, scanning the screen with a military-grade device. Reed's voice crackles in Carter's ear. She took the bait. The real coup comes when Miles arrives early, catching Vanessa off guard. Why are you here? She hisses. We need to move up the timeline, he says. He's slipping. Maya, in the hallway, records every word. Carter steps back in. Didn't know you had guests, he says coolly. Miles stammers. Just dropping by. Carter pours a drink. To catching up, he says, raising his glass. Vanessa's voice is too cheerful. Miles was just leaving. No, Carter says calmly. He can stay. Both of you sit. Reed enters with 2 armed men. Vanessa rises. What is this? Just a conversation, Carter says, tapping the wall monitor. Footage plays. Vanessa transferring files, Miles receiving them, her whispering on the phone. Her face pales. You bugged me? She asks. No, Carter says. You bugged me. I just found your bugs first. Silence stretches. Vanessa's voice cracks. I didn't mean to fall in love with you. It was a job. You had every choice. Carter cuts in. You lied to a child. He turns to Miles. And you, after everything I did for you. Miles stands. Let's not turn this into something it's not. It's treason, Carter says sharply. Reed reads their rights as they're cuffed. Maya steps in, watching silently. You okay? Carter asks. She nods. Are you? He crouches, pulling her close. I am now. As the door closes behind the betrayers, Carter knows this is only the beginning. Justice has spoken, but trust will take time to rebuild. The morning after, the mansion feels unnaturally still, like the pause after a storm. Carter sits on his bed, still in yesterday's clothes, the weight of betrayal heavy. A soft knock comes. Maya steps in, holding a mug. I brought you coffee, she says, handing it over. I made it like you did for me last week. He takes it, fingers brushing hers. Thank you, sweetheart. She sits, swinging her legs. Is it over? I wish I could say yes, he says, sipping the sweet, strong coffee. Taking them down doesn't mean it's done. I have to fix the damage. Will they go to jail? She asks. Most likely, he says. Reed uncovered more names last night. This was bigger than them. She's quiet, then asks, Do you trust anyone now? He looks at her. I trust you. Her lips curve into a tiny smile. Downstairs, Reed set up a secure server. Miles was just the tip, he says. Board members, a VP in R&D, even an accountant are flagged. Carter paces. How did this happen under my nose? Because you trusted them, Reed says. And because Vanessa studied you like a blueprint, your habits, your triggers. They played a long game, Carter mutters. But they lost, Reed replies. At lunch, Carter takes Maya to a cozy diner with red vinyl booths. The waitress, Bernice, recognizes him. Well, if it isn't Mr. Williams, she exclaims. And this is Maya. Maya shakes her hand politely. As they order pancakes, Carter asks, Why didn't you tell me about the camera right away? Maya stirs syrup into her milk. I didn't want to sound crazy. I thought it was for security. Then I watched Vanessa, how she'd stand in certain spots, like she was performing. You saw what I didn't, Carter says. That instinct. Don't ever ignore it. That afternoon, Reed summons Carter to the library, showing a corkboard of emails and maps. We traced financial channels, he says. Your subsidiary, GlassTech Lab, has been funneling data through a Brooklyn shell company. Vanessa signed the merger forms last spring, right before she proposed East Coast expansion. Carter's fists clench. What do? We go to the source, Reed says. Quietly, we fly to New York tonight. Carter glances at Maya, laughing in the sunroom. She comes with us. I don't want her out of my sight. They fly on Carter's private jet, Maya watching Hidden Figures. In New York, they check into a discreet hotel. The next morning, Carter and Reed visit GlassTech's branch office, a nondescript warehouse hiding servers replicating High-End's mainframe. They weren't stealing data, Reed whispers. They were building their own version, preparing to replace you. A man in a suit, Eric Vaughn, greets them. Mr. Williams, didn't expect you. Carter cuts through his polite act, revealing traced payments. This place exists to dismantle what I built. Eric smirks. You're too late. I don't think so, Reed says. tossing a folder with Vanessa's confession and server data. It's enough to bury this place. Federal agents arrive, cuffing Eric. Across the street, Maya munches a pretzel. Was that a bad guy? She asks. One of the last, Carter says. Let's go home. Back at the estate, Carter stands by an old piano, untouched since his brother's death. He presses a C key, the note clear and low. Maya approaches. I keep thinking about Vanessa and Miles, she says. It's like they left a feeling, like the house is still watching. That's your instinct, Carter says. We trust it. He lifts her onto the bench and plays a lullaby his brother taught him. Maya leans against him, eyes closing, the mansion warmed by healing. The next morning, Reed brings bad news. 2 board members, Elliot Green and Tabitha Claymore, want a vote of no confidence, claiming Carter's emotional involvement makes him unfit. They want to split the company, Reed says. Claymore's tied to the Brooklyn shell. Carter paces. Get me everything. I'll burn her bridges. That afternoon, Maya helps hang a photo of her parents. Why do people do bad things? She asks. Because having everything outside doesn't fill them inside, Carter says. You won't be like that. You have heart. That evening, in a glass conference room, Elliot argues for Carter's removal. Carter counters, proposing an audit of board members' finances, revealing Reed's forensic accounting. Anyone who doesn't want to answer can walk out, he says. No one moves. Later, Carter sits by a fire, tired but not defeated. Maya creeps in. Did you win? She asks. He nods. Then why look sad? Because it shouldn't have gotten this far, he says. Sometimes the closest people don't want to be saved. They want to win. She leans against him. You still have me. That's the only win I care about, he says, the fire wrapping them in warmth. The air feels lighter, but Carter stays vigilant. Vanessa's still out there. In the kitchen, Maya, in Carter's oversized t-shirt, hands him toast. You look worried and old, she teases. He chuckles. Are you going after her? Yes, he says. But I need proof, not revenge. Maya mentions a clicking sound in the closet by his office. They investigate with Reed and Owen, finding a military-grade signal booster. Vanessa didn't work alone, Reed says. Carter calls Leon Barksdale, a former agency contact. They went after my family, he says. Leon agrees to help, identifying Vanessa as ex-military or mercenary, targeting Hyen's offline AI source, Project Hyen. That night, Carter invites Vanessa back, every corner under surveillance. They talk by the fire, her guard softening. He says, Do you ever wonder what trust sounds like? It's silence when you stop pretending. Her fingers freeze. You thought you were smart, he continues. But you forgot I listen. Leon's team steps in, catching her activating a transmitter. You bugged me? She asks. No, Carter says. You bugged yourself. She glares. You'll never prove it. I don't need to, he says. You messed with a man with nothing to lose and a niece worth more than your operation. Leon cuffs her. Later, on the porch, Maya sits beside Carter. She's gone. Forever, I hope, he says. She leans against him. We make a good team, Uncle Carter. We do, he says. Tomorrow we rebuild. With no lies, no cameras, just trust. In Hyen's Manhattan headquarters, Carter addresses the board. Trust is currency, he says, revealing Vanessa's espionage ring targeting Hyen's algorithm. We neutralize the threat, but we need changes, audits, security reviews, and a new ethics advisor, Leon Barksdale. The room nods, impressed. Later, in a Brooklyn cafe, Maya sips cocoa, proposing the Maya Initiative, a scholarship for kids who've lost parents. Carter writes a $1 million check. You're my partner now, he says. Her smile lights the street. That night, Carter records a memo. Vanessa was a reflection of what happens when love gets lazy. I won't let that happen again. Leon texts. Vanessa worked with someone inside Hyen Monarch. It's not over, but Carter has a plan, a family, a mission. The next morning, Maya, in a blazer over her hoodie, gets her own desk. This company's under new management, Carter says, grinning. In Hyan's cyber division, Leon reveals Vanessa built a network inside Hyan, but she answered to Monarch, who never showed their face. Maya, at her desk, hands Carter an envelope sealed with a Monarch butterfly stamp. Inside, a note offers a deal. Meet alone in Battery Park. Carter sits on a bench, the Hudson shimmering. A gray-haired man joins him. You were too idealistic, he says. Hyan's ethical code is bad business. Sell or Maya's safety isn't guaranteed. Carter stands. You touched the wrong family. Back at Hyan, he plans a leak fake AI code with a trace. Maya's butterfly sting lights up, pinpointing Beixler Capital. Carter confronts their board, tossing a traced folder. Disband your network, or this goes public. The man sneers, but Carter walks out, lighting a fuse. That evening, Vanessa's ring appears on Carter's porch. She calls warning of a strike. Testify, he says. She hangs up. Carter locks down Hyan, isolating servers. Maya's ShadowNet traces internal threats. We're protecting a generation, Carter says. The next day, ShadowNet traps Beixler's dev leader and Vanessa's lingering access. Beixler's servers crash. Leaks expose their violations. Carter delivers a USB to their board. Resign, or this goes public. The man sneers, but Carter's fuse is lit. Later, Maya rests her head on Carter's arm. Do you think Mom and Dad would be proud? She asks. Yes, he says. You whispered the truth when it was scary. They sit as the sun sets, unafraid. 3 weeks later, Vanessa turns herself in, exposing the espionage network. Carter doesn't attend her trial. Justice is quiet, like Maya's voice. On a spring morning, he takes Maya to the botanical gardens. She runs through flower beds, laughing, stopping by monarch butterflies. They're stronger than they look, she says, one landing on her palm. So are you, Carter says, smiling. Surrounded by wings and silence, he feels peace. The wind stirs, and the butterflies lift, bright and free, just like their future. Wow, what a journey! Carter and Maya's story shows how trust, courage, and family can triumph over betrayal. What did you love most? Share your thoughts below, and let's keep the conversation going. Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories that inspire and thrill.